Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is it, the last game of the BTS Europe Series. It's Game 3 of the final. Virtus.Pro taking on Elements. Elements in game number 2 were able to just trounce right over Virtus.Pro. Wonderful Sven performance. I need to get closer to you, don't I? This wire needs to get behind my back. This is it, man. Whew. All right, so any big key elements from Elements' game in game number 2 that they need to look to apply to game number 3, and I guess you can ask the same question about Virtus.Pro after that.
Sure. I mean, the diverse drafting pool and ideas about like who it's running support and stuff like that is something that they can really use to press their advantage. Keeping things abstract, very generic in the beginning of the draft, and then kind of expanding it from there. I feel like when they did their Huskar Oracle draft, it was so projected, it was so clear what was happening. And yeah, maybe the OD is a little bit disruptive as a pick, but it's just like it's still very clear what their overall thing is. But with the draft in the previous game, Elements were not showing that off until maybe the 4th pick, and then you're like, oh, they're just gonna like knock us all out.
Yeah.
And you had like an anti-jungling Mirana against a Chen. I mean, that's the stuff you don't really normally get to see. So
I mean,
press the advantage during the laning phase. Be more diverse in the draft, and don't stick to any one thought too long, because it seems like when they're drafting and adapting their draft throughout it, rather than going in with a game plan, it seems like they're able to make the most of it.
And we've been seeing them do that a couple of times throughout this BTS series. You know, even earlier with that support morphling, whether it be spontaneous or not, it definitely seems that they have better success when the strategy just kind of evolves within itself, and the draft just kind of is either just much more dictated by Elements overall. Here they open up, they grab up the Wisp and Mirana pairing here. Virtus.Pro already get a very nice first pickup in your Shadow Demon now. Obviously you have the rest of the draft to be able to work in or weasel in any of the top pickups to pair with this Shadow Demon, whether it be the Morphling or the Luna or such. So with that, they kind of continue to set up a bit of a foundation here as they move in for their heavy-hitting, armor-reducing initiator in the Slardar.
Yeah, we're not going to be seeing the Void of the Sand King, though, and maybe not even the Elder Titan at this point, so that could be posing a very interesting way for the draft to play out, where we don't have any of these big AoE frontliners. I mean, obviously the Slardar can fill that role, and we've seen Pasha do that a couple of times now, but it's just, I'm not 100% on exactly what either team wants to do at this point in time. I believe ET will be banned because it would work really well in VP's lineup, but other than that, like, what are the main threats? What's to worry about at this point in time? And that's the question mark that Elements want to have up in the air, but VP are asking that a little bit themselves. Do they go Luna in phase 2 with the Shadow Demon combo? Obviously the Drow is out, but Luna, Shadow Demon, we saw it earlier, is quite effective. And even this Morphling ban, I'm not even sure if it's a core Morphling necessarily, because while VP didn't do this, it was Elements that ran this draft, if I remember correctly. Or was it VP?
Element, like the support Morphling?
The support Morphling.
That was Elements for sure.
Okay. So with that in mind, it is like that kind of combo where you're able to use the Shadow Demon and the Morphling together to get some really good damage on a target, and even counteract some of the hardest carries in the game because of the adaptive strike. So whether it's a core Morphling or the support Morphling, doesn't matter. What really is important is that it is off the table. And beyond that, the OD is also going to be taken care of.
Oracle hasn't actually been acknowledged at all. It's one of the few drafts where he has not been touched whatsoever. I don't know if he really has a place in either lineup, but I wouldn't also put it out of the question entirely. I've been seeing crazy double sustain lineups of, you know, Wisp and Oracle. They have a lot of synergy together. It's just, you know, you always feel like you're going all in that support, sustain, babysitting department. Yeah. Then they just toss in a casual Huskar 5th pick, and then, yeah, they have a ball, but...
Yeah, I think the Oracle plus Wisp has quite a bit of potential, but I don't know. I'm pulling out my cheapo stats book, and I'm seeing that Oracle has a 0% win rate in BTS Europe number 4 finals. So
that's true.
Not sure if it's going to work out here.
So what do you do at that point? You get Pudge.
Yeah, that's a strong pick. That is the way you play it out. But yeah, right now it seems like both teams are taking their time. They're trying to guess what their opponent is looking for. I wouldn't have gone for the Invoker myself. I don't think that Virtus.Pro were really looking that direction, but I mean, it's always possible that no one feels like he has to kind of go for a fallback. It's something that he has executed pretty well on a couple times in the past.
Yeah, but it's obviously something that they're just going to put in reserve. I mean, they could just as easily creep that Shadow Fiend or something right back into this draft yet again. I mean, when you already have that nice armor synergy with Slardar, anything is possible, but it looks like for now they're holed up. I mean, that's the thing is, Shadow Fiends like, of the past, when they were used to be prominent in the mid lane, and then you had like stuff like the roaming Maranas, like the roaming Earth Spirits, you know, you were getting a lot of pressure on your mid lane, and I don't know. That kind of pressure is just not as there anymore. With Mirana usually taking more of a core position or a mid position, and Earth Spirit being a dead hero. I don't know. We might see more Shadow Fiend at the end of the day. Virtus.Pro, though, don't want to risk seeing another Wisp Tiny pairing, so they just ban the Tiny here and now.
I could see this Fen still working out for them, but this I think it's very smart to take out that and at least make sure that you're not playing the same exact lineup as before. Even if you have better heroes to deal with it, it's still really scary the way the elements were able to kind of make that quick swap from supporting the Tiny to supporting this Fen and always have the global presence. We didn't see any recalls from the KotL, but we got to see Moonlight Shadow as well as Relocates come into play multiple times over, and those were key. So yeah, I think it's important to make sure that you're not going up against the same draft and you're repeating your own mistakes. And they want this to be a different game, a different draft very clearly. But Elements, they've definitely got to make a choice here. Be very clear-cut in their decision-making. They like to keep it ambiguous, but now I think they have to make something decisive. They don't get their Sand King or anything else. Avoid Sand King. These are heroes that could go in multiple lanes. They have to pick something and show where they're going to go. Unless they go Juggernaut, and then they're like, screw you. But I think Juggernaut's too weak against Demonic Purge, so I really wouldn't count on it too much.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Go back.
Juggernaut.
Frigate Juggernaut.
So where's he going?
they
ambiguous as ever. It's the Elements thing.
Like, I was even asking Milan between the games after they did the support Morphling thing. I was like, okay, so when you picked the Morphling, did you expect it to be a support or a core, or when you fifth pick Luna, did you change your mind? And he said it's a team secret. So I'm like,
yeah, right, buddy.
Like, in this case, I actually think that their main idea for drafts is just to keep it a secret, to keep everything close to the chest until they have to actually lay their cards on the table. And
it just makes our job so hard.
It makes our hard, yeah, predicting everything, but
that means it makes their job hard too,
I mean, we can introduce the viewers and say, hey, Juggernaut could be a mid or a safe lane. I've even seen off-lane Juggernaut a couple times.
Yeah, 4-position Lanham Jug, why not? Just anything and everything.
Please. But
screw the Wisp entirely, put him mid.
Right now, I would actually think like it's. I mean, Mitch played the Mirana last time, so you got like 4 different positions, probably 3 likely ones for the Mirana. You've got 1 position for the Wisp, and then you've got 2 to 3 for the Jug. So, no matter how it works out, Virtus.Pro don't know how to get the right matchup, and that's I think the key factor here.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Virtus.Pro could do a little bit of themselves. Okay, Virtus.Pro were like, you know, we will define the draft now, at least for ourselves, and say. We're getting a PA. Actually, so did you know after we casted that game, that crazy game with the 4-position PA?
Oh, really?
Was that Virtus.Pro? No, who was that?
It was
no, it was Vega, I think.
Vega, yeah.
So yeah, it was Sayoma who played it. That's a thing, apparently. I was like looking into it a bit more. Like, that's a pub thing for sure. Lots of 4-position PAs. I'm just saying, now we have an AM also on the team. Is this a 4-position PA? I don't know.
All right, so it is going to be a Slark in the safe lane, Jug in the mid. PA is going to be in the mid. Anti-Mage is going to be the safe lane. I picked up Anti-Mage to not only get away from Pounce when you get caught inside that, you can blink away, but also when you see a Relocate coming to dodge out of that as well. But as you mentioned, it seems a little weird where the PA is going to go. I think Slaughter is going to go to the off lane, so PA should still be mid.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. That seems like the likely thing. I just hope that Elements like do somewhere. It's a horrible matchup for PA. Like, get a Viper. I don't know. Just be like.
And Slark is picked up against PA because of Silver Edge, so it's kind of like a nice little equation that's kind of filling out. But both teams were trying to conceal like a few of the variables, a few of the numbers on their side of the equation. Though they only share their cheat sheets when they have to. But yeah, once they show the PA, then Slark is a very clear answer to that with the Silver Edge, and then. Once they show the Slark, the Anti-Mage is a pretty solid response, both because they have the Shadow Demon and because you're evading 2 big tools of initiation. But from there, what is Virtus.Pro's game plan? They have an AM. Great. You can avoid a Slark. Now what do you do with this AM? You have to push, you have to pressure, you have to farm.
You have to do a lot outside the AM. Right, to make sure the AM has a good time.
So Virtus.Pro's last pick is designed to fight as 4 heroes. Fight without the AM. Have PA, Slaughter Dart, Shadow Demon. So I think Ogre Magi is the best. If you want something to control the Slark, then you get a ground target disable. Earthshaker is the one that we haven't seen in the longest of time.
Oh, yeah.
Disruptor banned out most recently. You could technically go AA here, and it wouldn't be that bad.
Can you go a jungling hero? Can you afford to go greedy when you have a Wisp already on the other team? I mean, you have Mirana, and you can have Mitch doing the Mitch thing and run around and be annoying, but...
It's really annoying, dude.
Maybe you can get away with being greedy.
Nah, I would go AA, and you can get something out of the jungle with the Ancient Apparition and still counteract Shadow Dance, Healing Ward, so on. So, I think that's solid.
Yeah, AAPA is really good too, yeah.
Yeah, I would like that pickup, and that would, one thing is really good is jumping in with Crush and just following it up with like a very short range Ice Blast. Like, you're only just outside of vision, but you're always going to get that. What the fuck just happened, dude?
Okay, so...
So it's a support slider or a support PA?
Dude, 4 position PA, Blaze.
Don't,
it's happening.
Please, no.
Virtus.Pro, they've probably been scrimming against Vega.
Either way,
they know
insane.
that this is the day of the age of the 4 position PA.
Okay, so it's an offlane puck, so I'm thinking it's a support slider. I think it's a support slider and an offlane puck. I don't know anymore though. These teams just love to run each other around in circles for the draft. Oh my goodness. 6 seconds left on the clock. Element's going to pick a Meepo. I don't know. Lion coming out here for Element's going to be that Mitch Morana on the offlane once again.
Are they going too far with being ambiguous, Blaze? Is that what's happening? Is
think
it like you can only go to a couple picks, and once you like it so ambiguous that you really just okay, now we don't know who's playing what until the names get on the heroes, and now it's looking like between the Slaughter PA,
don't say it.
Slaughter
Don't
PA,
say it.
Slaughter PA, who's it going to be?
There's no way they run
Lil
a support Phantom Assassin in the final game of the BTS series. Like, what?
Yes, the prestigious BTS series.
Exactly.
Pull out all the stops.
This is like a scrim pocket strat. This is not something you run in any official unless it's actually effective, which I can't believe it would be.
Once the 4 position PA is certainly in the meta, cemented in there, and commonly banned, I'm going to reference back to this VOD. I'm going to come back to this VOD here and now, Blaze, and be like, this was it. This was the moment.
Broodmothers versus Vega was only
Credit
the
to
beginning.
Vega.
What was it, FNG PA?
No, it was Seoma. FNG played the Weaver.
He was the Weaver, for sure.
Not Vega on that game, since we have the moment it's paused. Vega, if you want to go check it out in the group stage, Vega went against Broodmothers, but in the last game, Broodmothers couldn't even make it to the first game, so mathematically they were already out. They played game 2 anyways, even though they were mathematically out. So what did Vega do? Well, they decided this is our best chance. Let's just swap the roles entirely. We'll put FNG and Seoma on the cores. We'll put FN on a support Dazzle. And they still ended up winning and doing very well. FNG's Weaver did a solid job, but the real story of that game was, I mean, Seoma's roaming PA with daggers all over the place was indeed doing work and being a pain in the ass. And that is just what you do. The dagger gaming, I went on, and if you can check it out at True Dota 2 subreddit, they have a full thing talking about the 4 position PA, and you could bet I was there, I read it, and I was like, you know what, that doesn't seem too bad. And you know what? Apparently teams have been running it outside of pubs, but maybe even in scrims. And Virtus.Pro feel good enough running it here in your final match of the finals.
Seems like Solo almost forgot a courier that he has to buy. Oh my gosh, do they not have gold for a courier?
Oh! What?
Lil knew that he wanted to open Orb of Venom Blightstone, but apparently Solo forgot about that. Small, tiny detail.
And look at him do the 180 back to the fountain. Like, are you serious?
They got it. They have the gold. I don't know who bought it.
Someone else did. Oh,
it's fine. It's fine.
That's funny. Well, here we go. Grand final, Blaze. Underway.
Indeed. So, very, very interesting. Pashu, I guess, bought it because he doesn't have nearly as much gold as an offlaner normally would. Yeah, we'll see how it works out. But, yes, Orb of Venom, Blightstone, roaming PA. Amp damage will help this in the mid game because you'll have extra vision, so you keep on sniping at a distance. But yeah, the ability got buffed a long time ago to the 6-second cooldown time from 8. And people were like, that was already her best spell. Why would you buff that? And now it applies crit, it applies all these damage effects. They added Blightstone to the game. All of this has been setting up for the support Phantom Assassin metagame.
Yes, this is it. I mean, it's just like one of those things, you know, Ricky had the same problem. People just had this notorious stigma on Ricky that he was a core. You had to play him a core, and then people were trying him out in the offlane. And wouldn't you know it, one of his best, if not best positions has been in support. PA can be that same kind of a thing.
Ricky is so different, though.
I know
Ricky
he's different. Like
got
his
reworked, lost 10 base damage, could no longer farm a lane, and had to go into support because it worked for him. Like, this is a Phantom Assassin who could easily carry the game, but for right now, she's going to start off support, and I'm curious if she'll ever transition back to that semi-carry, or if you actually have a build of items. I think you just go Desolator. You go Phase Boots Desolator anyways. You just spend your early game roaming around and hurting people.
I believe that is the appropriate build-up, too, so would not be surprised here. And suddenly Milan is going to be the first one to eat the first PA support dagger of the game. And he's like, holy crap, I'm very slow. So that with the minus armor. Kill. And that's another dagger. And ladies and gentlemen, that is 4 position PA for you.
And already Slark has skilled up his Essence Shift, so while he will steal stats and trade really well, she might get another kill out of it.
The daggers come and they don't stop. It's like a crazy carnival game. Like,
Couriers might stop either. She's jumping around. You can actually Phantom Strike Couriers now, so you can even snipe Couriers as a support PA, if that's really your prerogative. I don't exactly know. I think he's going to need a Stout Shield next, just to kind of fight up against this Lion. He's already taken half his HP without any regen, but they actually might also get a kill here. Yep. Oh, no mana. God. He doesn't have mana for 5 seconds.
Yeah, Lil sidesteps the stun here. But
and they don't need it. They don't need a crush. They've got Blightstone, Orb of Venom,
Is everybody ready for this in your pubs now?
Holy shit, what just happened?
Some odd thousands of people watching this, they're like, okay, I'm about to queue up.
The metagame just broke.
You mean all I need is Orb of Venom and Dagger and I can make plays happen? Here comes 2K. Oh, boy. Well, we can't put too much attention on that. Let's quickly touch base with what's happening in the other lanes here. You do have a Wisp Jug pairing here for Elements between, of course, KotLGuy and LeBron. No one on, another one of his traditional power mid lane comfort kind of heroes in the puck. Up and above towards the top rune, though. Solo disruption onto Mitch. Of course, with LeBron nearby. Not much trouble to follow up from that, so I'll quickly scathe off. So with so much action happening in the bottom lane, Ramses will just grind away the farm at the top, but that action bottom lane just still hasn't stopped, by the way, Blaze. A new dagger, a new crush, and really Milan just trying his best to save his comrade, and will be able to do so. Oh my goodness.
Well, they've forced 3 heroes bottom to protect the Slark against a PA Slardar off lane. In the meantime, that means no one is freely fighting it out up against the Juggernaut and seems to be doing pretty well for himself. And in the meantime, of course, Ramses has had a free lane where Mitch has been mostly jungling for the past couple of minutes.
Yeah, I can't really fault him too much on that. As you can see, he comes in the lane, eats a few unwanted pot shots, stuck with no mana at all. He's found better success in kind of working with the neutral camp, so can't really fault him too much on that. We'll just have to see if he's going to be able to kind of land those arrows and make the similar turnaround plays he was able to do in game number 2. But obviously with how, I'm sure, infuriating this bottom lane's going, things are very different. Milan getting a jump right now. Does get a 2-man stun, but he needs help. And that's why LeBron is here. Now they might be able to make a turnaround play. Lil does not look to pursue. Pasha's going to be able to get in there, gets a 3-man crush, but that'll be the end of the damage. They'll have to pull off, but just look how much attention is needed by Elements.
Oh, in the meantime, though, Solo going to deny himself to neutral creeps. Mitch was running him down as best he could, but in the end, Solo gets the last laugh as Mitch wastes even more time here.
All right. Elements able to kind of still pull focus of their own, even though Virtus.Pro have been able to kind of do a good job of that in the bottom lane. Mitch is still doing his thing, kind of run back and around. Looks like he's contemplating an arrow lineup here onto no one. No one's in that kind of spot right now where something could connect. Oh, but the creep wave does conclude and the arrow will miss its mark. So Mitch has to kind of go back to the drawing board. It looks like a regen rune is waiting up there for him. And he'll take it. Up to the top lane he goes.
Yep. And Wisp, it's just a suicide pact here. The Wisp and the Lion both denying themselves to neutrals, and Lil even joining them. We have had 4 neutral denies in 45 seconds. And everybody's going to reset. Full HP, full mana. Who needs sustain when you could just die and come back?
So neutrals 4 and 0, the hidden score in this game, even doubling up the kill count that Virtus.Pro have been able to support to this point. But yeah, nonetheless, mid lane, Blade Fury.
Oh, Lil could have turned that so well too.
Arrow.
Is he still going? He's still going!
Yeah, he's committing it hard. The orb could connect, and that could be just more than enough. Lil's approach to the mid lane already successful now. The dagger, level 2 only, Blaze, and it's still only benefiting from just a Blightstone and an orb.
Well, it'll continue to do that pretty much
Cancel
as we go on
KotLGuy.
There's no spin!
Big burst. KotLGuy's in trouble, man. New dagger could be there. Blade Fury going to be forced out. Lil's waiting for that conclusion. He doesn't want to get too hungry. Pulls off.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, if you won't say it's similar to like the Ricky thing, what about the CK support thing?
Yeah, that's what I would compare it to. Is a Chaos Knight roaming around.
Is it as clowny as the fluff support Chaos Knight?
The difference is that your initiation is a screen wide. You highlight over Stifling Dagger, you see this massive range to throw it. Early Chaos Bolt and Reality Rift doesn't do that for you. So, you can dance in and out. You don't even have to worry about how healthy you are. Like, he didn't buy any tangos themselves because it's like the worst case scenario is I'm a ranged hero and I just only get to attack every 6 seconds. And that might be enough.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm very curious to see how Lil plans to kind of move this through into the mid game now. Arcane rune spotted. That's going to be left for no one. What a beautiful rune to have when you have Coil Blaze. Oh no! Milan caught at the wrong place at the wrong time. Nice two-man stun, but see you later. Slice on up. Lil gets that grab, and he's looking to build up into those phase boots now. So.
Yeah. FaZe does though, semi-carry PA after supporting the whole lane. I mean, the only thing you're lacking is a little bit disable, but going for a core pick like Puck is perfectly fine for that. It's like, I mean...
Bottom lane, pounce connection onto Pasha here. Pasha will be able to get the stun off. Starstorm, they need a bit more. He gets the one!
Oh,
Not good enough. Mitch gets it in the end. Reaching there. That was their first kill, and look how hard they had to sweat for it.
Absolutely. And here, Lil's just going to come right back down, pull the creep wave, harass back the Slark, just kind of do his own thing.
And he doesn't even have to. That's the thing. It's like now you have this little bit of a mind game. The dagger's coming. Is he coming soon after? Is there a team behind him?
A little bit of annoyance here for Ramses. He kind of caught under tower, but it looks like it's going to be okay for him as he just keeps on pushing the wave despite his blink having been on cooldown for a bit.
Bottom lane. Slark making an approach with the return of the Wisp here. Can they get that very annoying Lil down without losing their Wisp? They might lose both of them here. Pack will be there though, and that's it. Oh man, Lil claims that one.
The kill the hit that would have killed him was blur dodge, 20%.
Oh,
easy.
Good for you. And it's something we were talking about in that other PA game. I know we're talking a lot about it, but how often have we really seen support PA? But with levels up into blur, you won't even see the rotations on the mini-map. If you're just trying to look at mini-map for rotations from position 4s, if she has blur, you won't see it.
It was a joke, but it is absolutely true. You're like, it's the old, remember the old version of Smoke where even if you have an observer and a sentry, you have to look at the map to see him?
Yep.
Well, that's kind of what you're dealing with here, is like, you have to constantly keep eyes on certain river locations and stuff. Wards do not matter, because this PA will circumvent it. You have to have your camera in the right position to get an eye on her.
Yeah, this is a 4-position Lil making a chase on the offlane Mitch bottom.
Oh my gosh.
And about to solo kill him.
No, maybe.
Almost solo kills him. And, okay, Lil. You're playing with a bit of fire now. The help has come. And he got himself caught in a narrow alleyway where there was no way to dodge that arrow. Nicely done. Nice response from Mitch. Bottom lane. Movement for solo here. Has to dish off the purge. Now he has no more mana. But the coil is going to be coming in from the low ground there by no one. Flops down the sentry. Rushing in for the crush. Milan. Is he able to juke his way out from this one? Does not look like it. He will be going down. That could have been a lot worse. I mean, a coil and a lot of rotations from Virtus.Pro only yields them a Lion takedown.
Yeah. So the reason this is working is because they do also have control brought from the puck. Like, if you're sacrificing your support position for somebody that only does damage and a random slow, then yeah, you're going to be lacking in terms of fight potential. But because they have this S4, mid in terms of a puck or like a Pat Ride or a Magnus, you're able to control the game while also allowing your support to do this. So looks like he might go for the Medallion next, and the Blightstone will be retired, and you'll kind of go from there.
Jump for swift ending here on the Slark. But here comes the dagger, and that means the crush. Good time on the Pact, but oh my god, it can't make it away. That's, man, the PA and the Slaughter together. Top lane, Ramses moving in, but that is a cancel TP. Oh man. Okay, Gogi. And even Lil getting involved in that one too. How nice.
The Busy Beaver, 3, 2, and 5, all around. At least one of those is neutral denies, so he's really positive in terms of his output here.
The worst thing is that it just looks so fun. At the same time, Blaze.
Just don't say that.
It just
Please,
looks fun, Blaze.
Pups.
I just want to go around and throw daggers tomorrow.
It's okay. America's not awake yet. We had to wake up at 5 a.m. for this, so we're good.
Oh. But for now, working wonderfully for Virtus.Pro as they sport a 9-2 advantage. We'll have to see if it's only early game momentum based, or if there's still going to be more potential. Jump up and over the woods, not to Grandma's house, but to LeBron to get that whisk kill. VP on the up and not done there. Swift endings here now. Coil popped as the pounce goes out, forces out the stun, forces out the shadow dance.
And another blur dodge.
No! Blur, and then they turn it around. No! This might be another swift one. This one is all Virtus.Pro. Good arrow connection. Might be able to get Lil with the Blade Fury. They should be able to certainly get that finish, and they will.
Nice
follow-up takedown of Solo. Here comes Gogi to play now. And Elements showing that they're not looking to shrug this one off just yet. If they can grab this no one kill.
Oh, beautiful.
That finger came from another planet.
Back to the world that makes sense of traditional supports. We have a Lion with a very good flanking maneuver. Finds his levels at the time he needs to finish the job.
That Lion doesn't have boots though, Blaze.
Sets
That's
up
the
3
difference.
kills. That's the difference, is he's like negative movement speed with this PA on him, but he's keeping the Blightstone. He's buying another Blightstone to complete his medallion. Oh, just go figure.
I mean, the Blightstone's pretty nice. It's
yeah, it
is.
It's like Tinker buying a Soul Ring after completing Bloodstone. It's like, this is a fucking good item.
Yeah, constant -2, just to pepper onto everybody. I can't really blame the guy for that, but Pasha here, crushing his way through the creeps. This is get about 1,300 gold, slithering his way closer to that Blink Dagger here. Could be bait now, as there's an approach by Elements, but if they make this jump, VP are waiting right behind. VP did have this deep ward. I wonder if it scouted the movement, and they're already preparing for a response that, well, it doesn't look like will be needed, as Elements have already pulled off. So now it's Virtus.Pro on the prowl.
Yeah.
And they've spotted out one of the sentries, it looks like.
Well, Swift Ending noted that he didn't have Shadow Dance, so he's afraid of those wards, and he will be able to get himself out of there. But I think this goes back to the strategic aspect of, while I didn't know exactly what Lil would be up to this game, it is the idea that they want Anti-Mage to farm by himself in the safe lane, and they want to pressure the off lane as 4 heroes. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're taking the bottom tier 1, they've got 4 heroes in the Radiant jungle, and they're taking this part of the map because it's giving Anti-Mage free space, and they're fully capable of taking the fight.
Tier 1 down there for Virtus.Pro. And we scope back towards the mid lane where Elements are attempting their own trade here. But now rotations are coming in. Swift Ending looks to go for a swift pick. He will be able to get it. Shadow Demon's going to be taken out, but they lose their Lion on the back end of it. Lil, barely back and alive, but will be taken down at the end of the day. Mitch, the next one on retreat here. No one making haste to be able to cut him off from the front. Follow-up comes in, but Mitch is under the Moonlight Shadow.
Oh! 99 problems, but a Mitch ain't one.
Very nicely done by no one. Orbs right on through and forward, and is able to make connection there for Mitch. Oh, man. 3-4-2 trade when it should have been a nice start for Elements here. VP continued to respond. We're able to get Lil down, but again, doesn't matter. He's not top priority in the farm department on this Virtus.Pro team.
Indeed, and that's going to put Slaughter very close to his Blink Dagger here. Ipash is going to be able to initiate at the range that you need for this lineup to really excel and just continue to put pressure out, because when you have that amp damage, you just want to go on somebody. Amp damage, medallion somebody, and just obliterate them. We saw a really good stun from Lion. We've seen a lot of them, actually, and Milan has been trying to enable his team to deal with this kind of dive composition that we've found ourselves looking at. I guess the strength of the PA here is just because she has so naturally high damage output, but if she's as a support, you don't really want to focus her. Like, as a carry PA, you're like, yes, kill the PA, she take out all that damage, especially if she's squishy. But when you do it here, it's like, oh, well, we still have to worry about Slardar. He's going to get a crush up in 2 seconds.
Purge for the Slark. Can they get it? They're going to commit the coil for this one. Tether comes in. Not a relocate tether, though. Needs 2 more seconds, but eventually he will come out from that disruption and he will pay. That's a Slark taking down a big prizy grab for Virtus.Pro. Deep dive. Are they going to commit for it? Nope.
They got the blink, so they can keep their
that dagger jumps in. LeBron, who commits also for that, will also pay the price. Lil going to be the piper on that one. And Mitch not looking to get involved. It's a pull all the way back and away, and suddenly Elements lose 3 at the drop of a hat.
And look, Anti-Mage is here to fight. Never mind, there's Ancients to be had. But, you know, he came to the same lane. He cheered them on from the backside as he continues to try to play his PvE Dota.
Wow, wow, wow. And again, it's just one of those things. He's just the insurance policy. I mean, they've been doing work without him, and they continue to do that work. Mid lane, disruption is going to be for Pasha, and they'll get the finish on that tier 1. And in the previous game, it felt like Elements, you know, had a kind of lineup where they can continue to kind of ramp up the pace, but I don't know. Are they going to be over-stunted, if that even makes sense, at this point where I just don't see the Slaughter being able to recoup nearly as fast. By now you're hoping to see that first big item thrown together, and he's going for the Shadow Blade, but it is just going to take some extra time.
Yeah, Slark's having a really rough one, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon. They have plenty of detection ready. The supports are so farmed that the Shadow Blade might not even have that big of an impact, because all you have to do is just keep on comboing up your observers and sentries.
Nice sidestep solo. And he walks out of what could have been a very scary situation when he was simply probably looking to get some wards down. Mid lane.
Relocate.
Swift ending.
Got him.
Gets a save there and a relocate back all the way home here. And Virtus.Pro could gather in that area.
Oh, they're going to get a hex
Shadow,
on no one.
Yeah, they're going to get a jump from no one here. Looks like in a possible exchange arrow, they should be able to get the finish. Back at mid lane. LeBron has made his return. And LeBron has been killed. But hey, with a trade like no one going down, it's certainly fine for Elements. And a nice save on Swift ending too.
One thing that's also really nice about VP's lineup is the ability to take Roshan pretty early. Yeah, Anti-Mage isn't great at it, but Slardar and PA are so good. And like they just lost their puck, and they're like, we don't care. We could still take Rosh because it's ain't no thing.
It really isn't. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but with amp damage, with the blight and all that good stuff, Rosh will slowly be withered away here. And does not look like Elements are gonna be able to do much about it. So back to the grind of farm they go. And for Virtus.Pro, I mean, they can still be very disciplined in this if they want. It's an AM kind of a game who has his Vlads now done to pair together with that Battle Fury. But I see plenty more item slots blazed, so however they want to play with this clock. They have a PA too now. That's a ceiling, so she could be a late gamer. You have time.
He's doing so much in terms of greed. He's just like buying Tome of Knowledge. He's getting tons of farms. He's last hitting heroes. The bottom line, guys, if you're ever going to pick PA in your pub, remember that you need to have a very sacrificial babysitter behind him. Like, the PA is doing great, but the Shadow Demon is, like, in a dominating team environment, still only 2,600 net worth. You have to realize that one of these two supports is going to bite the bullet. So I don't want you playing support PA, but if you have to, if you feel you need to after seeing Lil do this, please make sure you have a very item-independent support behind it. That's all I ask.
And if that's most pubs, I'm sorry, you're not going to be playing PA very often because those very selfless kind of supports seem to be very few and far between. But if you're able to get one of those and you can afford to be greedy, then go ahead and go for your own little show. Here comes Virtus.Pro, though. Crawling on forward, looking for anyone from Elements to make an approach to maybe contest this AM, but that has got to be a very fishy signal already to Elements themselves as they push out these side lanes, making advantage of what time they've got left because Virtus.Pro are coming and knocking here on tier 2s, and eventually Elements are going to have to consider any sort of defense.
Oh, they just go in. They're just ready to clear out anything at any moment. They are ready to jump, dive, duck, and dip. They're going to take this tier 2 for nothing, and, you know, normally you look at Anti-Mage as a hero that doesn't do much with an Aegis, but here he is. They're ready to push in. They're ready to keep farming. They're ready to keep control over the map, so they're always going to be in this offensive position. There's no reason to be on the dire side right now.
Milan has spotted Ramses here, but he's alone.
Slider up top is actually taking a lot of damage here, and Lil actually gets Arrow trying to help bail him out.
Okay, Coil.
Oh
my god, Lil, are you serious? Crits up, takes down LeBron, lives and moves back in the trees where he'll continue to participate by dishing out daggers, which lead to crushes. Hiding, though, under Moonlight here, and Shadowblade. That double invis, though. Tries to look in for some revenge onto Lil, but Lil's already made it back and away. Pasha will be first to TP out, and Lil will be ready to go thereafter if he so pleases.
So everybody quick to the fight now. Finally, the Lion has the Blink Dagger, and we'll see if he can do much with it. But I think Elements really need to start emphasizing their mobility. They have a relocate. They had this Slark who's very quick on his feet when he's out of vision. So they really need to just find these flanking maneuvers. They have to find the vulnerable backline. The problem is the only vulnerable backline is a Shadow Demon. The PA is actually able to withstand enough damage with the initial barrage to keep tanking and keep fighting as we've seen. And the Shadow Demon isn't that high of a value kill, so it doesn't matter in the end.
Gotta be careful there, Swift ending. Gets crushed. Soul was en route with the ward, but he's already out the other way. And back to the grind they go. Lil's probably just like, guys, I'm so close. Let me just finish out my Desolator. Yeah, no problem, guys. I have a Desolator. And my goodness. I hope Elements are ready for it because any RNG favoring him, I mean, he will hit harder than even the AM. So this will be very, very, Very scary. And on top of that, Pasha, after picking up his Blink Dagger Blaze, he just goes straight for the Shadow Blade now. So, not looking to have any sort of split pressure here from Elements if they're trying to stall things out. Now they got to be nervous about any sort of scary, unnoticed approach.
Yep, they will scout it out here with an Observer Ward in their own jungle, but it seems like Swift Ending actually wants to make something of it, which would be completely pointless because there's a Shadow Blade.
Well, he tried. He poked him once. That was the end of it, though, after the Shadow Blade was popped. Top tier 1, though, will be taken down by Elements, but here comes Virtus.Pro. Bottom lane now. The siege is on. Elements yet to attend the defense party. It looks like they're going to be here now. Anxious to see Virtus.Pro what the slow siege game is, and I imagine it's a lot of those things flying through. Daggers from Lil in the back lines. There's going to be the coil jump in on 2. They split it back and apart here, and they let their focus onto Milan. They'll get him. Mage waits out the coil, will leap back and away, but they will lose the Lion at the end of the day. Now the tier 3 going to be taken apart. Ramses continues to go to work. Lil continues to dish out daggers. Mitch is going to be the next target. He gets crushed. KotLGuy as well. KotLGuy goes down. Crit power coming out, and Jug is going to be gone. 50 seconds, no buyback. This could be it. Virtus.Pro could close this one out in dominating fashion with the Lil PA and company. Ramsey's not really even needing to flex his AM muscles as they just chew right through the first set of racks.
And at this point, it's so difficult to come back from. It might be even run down inside their own base.
Solo, self-disruption, but it looks like it could be set to go down here. Doesn't stop Vega, or not Vega, but Virtus.Pro moving back in. No one will go down. As he gets bursted from the finger, Pasha is going to be forced to sprint. I'm so used to seeing no one on Vega's team. But I don't know how far you're going to make it, Pasha. Swift?
He's got the blink. I think he's fine.
Yo.
He gets 522 movement speed when he combines Sprint and Shadow Blade together. And now with the blink on top of it, they just can't touch him. So full lane of racks. They do lose 2 in their retreat, but doesn't seem to matter much. They've got an anti-mate suppressing the lanes. He's going to have his next set of items. And why do we have 2 medallions? It's just that good of an item.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't see much medallion, but today I've been seeing too much of it.
Okay, he sold it. He sold it. I got yelled at. General Lil is just like, no, I will burn their armor. It's my duty. I mean, what has he got? Like 7 armor reduction on Desolator, as well as 7 reduction on Medallion. Combo that up with the Slaughter's level 11. If you got something absurd.
You got paper here. Mid lane, Pasha able to go to work. They quickly take out the Mirana and Milan. Wow, they will both go down.
You got 29 negative armor.
Yeah.
And they just don't stand a chance.
Ouch. This is ridiculous here, especially with something, like the pairing of the Slardar. Ridiculous armor manipulation here by Virtus.Pro.
Slaughter is great for vision to continue to fire those stifling daggers, and of course the negative armor makes it so when they do crit, it takes out so much of their HP.
Could be it here. Jump in, insta-kill on LeBron, just like that. Virtus.Pro looking to close things home here for the final moments of the final game of the BTS Europe 4. Hoping to claim the first place. Elements had fought so hard to make it to this point. Taking it to a 3-game stretch, but as they even try to defend here and now, they just die the second they walk on in there. As example, KotLGuy going to be taken out. No second life for him. Milan will go down again. Last hope is really Swift Ending here, and he's forced to retreat. He's going to get quickly surrounded, and that will do it. Virtus.Pro will be your BTS Europe 4 champions. Congratulations to them, doing it on the back of a 4-position PA.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say, man. I mean, one thing is I was absolutely wrong. That is not the most awful thing I've seen. In fact, quite the opposite. Seems to be quite effective. As far as I understand the history of it, it was engineered in CIS scrims into CIS pubs, or vice versa, and now it's to a CIS metagame to you, maybe the world. I mean, that is something else. It's like an Ogre Magi that doesn't... Like, Ogre Magi isn't risky, per se, because he's so damn tanky. But PA is even less so because she literally is shooting from a range that she cannot be damaged if she doesn't want to be. If she wants to be in your face, she'll be in your face. But if she wants to just stay at a max range for the daggers and just throw them, she can be 1 HP for all she cares.
It just keeps coming and non-stop. The cooldown is so ridiculous, and just when you think you're about to make yourself away and escape the slow, the new dagger's coming right thereafter, and it just punished them in that bottom lane. And And really, it just felt like they were not able to recover. At that point, Lil began to kind of shift around to the different lanes, and potential was always there. Then no one comes online, and then all that potential's there. The Slardar blink, and AM, who is just farming all the meanwhile, rarely needs to even bat an eye towards the fight.
And even if you're not able to farm up more than just phase boots and a desolator, what it ends up being is simply like a 50% chance to have almost a figure of death from the low ground. Like, you're able to just still use that in a sieging situation, and when it does pop, it pops, and you're able to just do so much with it. It's absolutely absurd how this has become. I'm curious how that shapes up, if other professional teams will look to pick it up, if it gets touched on at all in the patch, so that, you know, PA stays as a prominent role rather than being a hero that just with base damage alone could do a lot of work. We'll see, but for now, this has been an eye-opening experience, to be sure.
Really has, and I'm very anxious to see if this is just a one-time kind of a thing, if this is just a pubber strat that happened to work out here and now, or if this is really going to be something we could be seeing more of in the future. But it's been a nice way to kind of just dabble in a bit to the Dota season, if I do say so myself, Blaze.
Most definitely.
It's been actually a really fun BTS series. Like, there were pudges all the way through, ridiculous 3-2-2 kind of upsets. You know, Vega, who was undefeated coming all the way into the playoffs, gets shut out by Element 0-2. It was awesome. I had a good time.
It was great. And we hope you guys had a great time too. Obviously, a big part of this is based on just you guys tuning in and enjoying the games. Of course, the teams as well just wanted to practice, and we're happy to have them and dish out the prize pool as well. And we hope to do another one in the very near future. We're looking at America, we're looking at Europe. We'll figure out what's coming next, so stay tuned to Beyond the Summit on Twitter, Facebook, however. As for ourselves, I'm Blaze at BlazeCasting, KotL at KotLGuy, and we'll see you guys next time.
Take care, guys. We have MDL coming up, which is going to be covered by Beyond the Summit. But if you need to check the VODs, go to the Beyond the Summit YouTube channel. We'll see you very soon for more Dota action, but enjoy the rest of your day.